4 reasons why intelligent people prefer to be alone. There is a kind of man who walks through life not as part of the crowd, but beside it. He is not isolated by fear or bitterness, but by choice. The ancient Stoics believed that the highest form of wisdom is found not in the noise of society, but in the silence of one's own mind. Why do those who seek truth often prefer solitude? The answer lies not in arrogance, but in the pursuit of something greater. Mastery of the self. One solitude reveals who we truly are. Seneca once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. To be alone is to stand face to face with the only enemy that ever truly mattered, ourselves." The intelligent man does not fear this confrontation, he welcomes it in solitude. The masks we wear for the world fall away. There is no one to impress, no validation to seek. The mind is laid bare, exposing both its greatness and its flaws. Most men run from this mirror, drowning their emptiness in distractions. But we endure the silence. We wrestle with our own demons, because to master the self is to master life itself. 2. Solitude breeds self-control. The man who lives by impulse is a slave. The man who controls his desires is free. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Society pulls us in 1,000 directions. Endless pleasures, endless opinions. The intelligent man retreats, not because he despises others, but because he knows the world will never hand him self-mastery that can only be forged in the furnace of solitude. When we are alone, there is no one to blame for our weakness, no one to tempt us into self-destruction. Every choice becomes a test, a quiet battle between desire and discipline, and with each victory, we become stronger. 3. Solitude teaches us to conquer emotion. Most men are ruled by their emotions: anger, envy, lust. They burn through life like leaves in the wind, carried by forces they cannot control. But the intelligent man, he seeks to tame the storm within. Epicus taught no man is free who is not master of himself in solitude. The noise of the world fades. The heart's turbulence becomes clear. Only then can we learn to rise above it. Not by suppressing our emotions, but by understanding them. We observe our anger without acting on it. We feel desire without being consumed by it. This is the highest victory: to command what others are enslaved by. To walk alone is not a curse. It is a calling. The world will tell us that solitude is loneliness. They will call us cold, detached, distant. Let them. They speak from fear of the silent fear of what they might find within themselves, but we know the truth. 4. Solitude awakens inner purpose. Most men drift through life chasing pleasures that fade with the passing days, wealth, status, or the approval of others. But the intelligent man knows that the loudest voices in the world often drown out the only voice that truly matters: his own. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epicus in solitude. There is no audience, no eyes watching, no applause waiting. There is only the quiet whisper of what we are meant to become. When stripped of distractions, we are forced to ask ourselves the questions that terrify most. Who am I? What am I building with this life? What will remain when I am gone, without the noise of others clouding our minds? We begin to hear the answers. Solitude forces us to confront our purpose, and purpose is the only fuel that can carry a man through suffering without breaking him. Most men fear the silence because it shows them how little they are. But those who endure it, they emerge with a fire no storm can extinguish. To walk alone is not an act of rejection. It is an act of devotion. Devotion to the highest mission a man can ever accept. Mastery of the self. The path is hard, the nights are long, but in the end, there is no greater victory than to stand before the world with nothing to prove, because the only battle worth winning was fought within. If this resonates with you, subscribe to the Stoic Verse for more wisdom to guide your journey.